There's a lot to unpack in the sixth episode of the third season of Star Trek Picard. We'll take a crack at it in a minute. Hello out there, I'm the oldest nerd. I want to remind you that there are going to be spoilers in this review. There's hardly a way to talk about this particular episode without it, because it is full of Easter eggs. Let's go directly to the Daystrom station, where we send Worf, Raffi, and Riker to be able to get to the database to find out just what the problem is that has caused all of the plot of this season. And what they find is a number of interesting Easter eggs, which include the Genesis device, which is being held there. Also, the remains of James Kirk, which we thought had been left on Viridian 3, but apparently it had been dug up and brought back to the Daystrom Institute, the Daystrom Station. A Tribble, a killer Tribble, and some other things. And that also included what they were looking for, which was what was else that was stolen, which was Picard's body. Apparently, Picard's human body had been taken and put there, unknown to anyone else. Now, why anybody would want Picard's human body is most likely, to my guess, the fact that it has Borg technology in it, nanobots that were never completely removed from Picard's body. So that is a possibility of why they want him. Why they want Jack, we're still not sure, and perhaps our answers are in the final experiments of Alton Inigo Sung. We find that he has passed away, but his last experiment was to try to recreate a data-like android, this time using not only synthetic but also partial human parts. I'm not sure exactly how that all goes together, but certainly a hybrid of android and human would be this last. Did not know if it was actually operational, because he died before it was all finished, but what they did find was that the database itself was actually data before lore, all kind of in one body. And at first they're able to resuscitate data, and after the introductions are over with, we have not yet found out exactly what kind of information he has, because it is, of course, a little bit restricted by lore as well. The problem with it, of course, is that Riker was captured and is now on Vadic's ship being interrogated, and has been threatened that Deanna and Kestra will also be injured or killed if he does not cooperate. And they show that Deanna on screen apparently is being held elsewhere. Now, in order to not be detected, the Titan had been throwing out buoys that would fake where it actually was, but as they were close to Daystrom, there were a lot of ships around, and so they warped out of the way in order to avoid capture. And where they went was a Starfleet museum, which is the old orbiting space dock. It's not around Earth anymore, but it's the old space dock that has been reused as a museum, and around it, all linked to the main station, are various starships, which include a Constitution class, the New Jersey NCC 1975, which interestingly was Terry Metallis's home and year of his birth. So a nice little Easter egg right in there. Then, of course, there was the Enterprise A that was there, the Voyager, and also the Klingon Bird of Prey, which Dr. McCoy had renamed the HMS Bounty, and that's the reason we have that title for this episode. What the bounty does is, through an act of skullduggery, contribute a cloaking device. This is something that Geordi comes directly to Picard and says, "How do you think you're going to get away with messing with my ships?" And he is concerned more for his family, and understandably so, and does not want to get caught up in Picard's mess of trouble. But when he was confronted by Geordi, "Do you realize how many regulations and laws you've broken?" Picard just says, "I guess they'll just have to add it to my tab." I thought that was a wonderful line. Anyway, they eventually convince Geordi to come along with help of his daughters, who seem to be more in with what Picard is doing than Geordi's tendency to want to be protective of his family. At any rate, there's a lot going on now, and so now we have together Picard and Worf and Raffi and Data Lore before, Geordi, and we've lost Riker for the moment. But this is where they are right now, and they're getting closer to finding out just what's going on if they can stay a step ahead of Vadic, which is a difficult thing to do. We find that Vadic is a changeling. I had suspected this before, even in her communication with the whoever it is that she's reporting to. Obviously was a gelatinous sort. We weren't certain that she actually was, and in fact she is. So this is where we're going. It's all a matter of being it's the changelings against virtually everybody else, and they're all over Starfleet, and how that gets rooted out is going to be a big deal, and we'll see how our heroes manage to do it. So I'd like to know what you think about this. This was well written, had a number of interesting things to look at in it, a good fight scene with Riker, and also a number of fun lines. We've seen the previews where Worf tells Riker that he's a pacifist now, and Riker says we're all going to die. Was a nice line. So please become a subscriber to the channel. It doesn't cost anything and does us a good deal of good. If you're already a subscriber, make sure you hit the like button on all our videos as you watch them. That will help us with the algorithm, as you know. So with all of that, thank you very much for joining us, and we'll try it all again next week. Until then, don't go far.